So the ESRB is the video game ratings board that serves North America. Whenever you take a look at a game, you see the little E for everyone, T for teen, that kind of thing. That's controlled by the ESRB. I know you've got different boards, different organizations for different territories. I know in Europe and maybe some other places, it's the PEGI system. Here we've got ESRB. Whenever a company wants to release a game, they have to work with the ESRB, they have to establish a rating, and it's probably a whole process. They've got to kind of register it with the ESRB, and ultimately when that game is revealed and released, the ESRB themselves will publish that game on their website. And ideally, it will not get published to the ESRB website until the company releasing the game has revealed it themselves. Naturally, it just kind of makes sense. And yet every once in a while, every once in a blue moon, the ESRB will jump the gun and publish information about a game early when they are not supposed to, when the company has not revealed it themselves. It doesn't happen super often, but when it does happen, generally you can assume that it is legit. This is a legit form of leak. The ESRB isn't just anybody. Their site is not run by people who are taking guesses, you know what I mean? When a game gets published to the ESRB website, it's because a company has contacted them, has registered a game with them. All that said, recently a notable Nintendo leaker teased something related to the Nintendo World Championships. They showed a picture of the famous Nintendo World Championships 1990 cartridge. And I actually went a really long time not actually knowing what the Nintendo World Championships was. So in case you are like me and you don't really know, this was an event where Nintendo had a special, custom NES cartridge that had multiple games on it, and players had to cycle between these games in an attempt to get high scores within them. Basically, NES Remix on the Wii U. That's a very similar idea. The idea of playing these, multiple NES games, cycling through them, trying to focus on these smaller experiences, getting high scores in them, and that was the particular way that people competed in the Nintendo World Championship. Yet for whatever reason, I went most of my life just not even knowing that is what that was. So this leaker was teasing something related to Nintendo World Championships, and now the ESRB has unwittingly, accidentally revealed a new Switch game. And the funny thing is, usually when somebody accidentally reveals something, publishes some part of a website that was supposed to wait until a later date and it was an accident and went up, usually they will jump to unlist it as quickly as possible. And yet, as I record this, as people have been talking about this for hours, it's right here. It is at the moment. It is still here on the official ESRB website. And here it is. Nintendo World Championships NES Edition has been revealed. It has not been revealed by Nintendo. Presumably, it will be revealed sometime soon. It seems like a smaller kind of thing, so it could be the kind of thing revealed just in a tweet or something, or maybe we will end up getting a Nintendo Direct next month in June. We didn't get a major one earlier in the year, so it certainly makes sense. Whatever the case, though, this is a thing. This is a thing that is probably real. According to the website, which, again, is still here right now. This is a collection of 2D challenges and platformer games in which players traverse through various modes, e.g. speedrun, survival. Several challenges involve reaching specific points, while others prompt players to defeat small enemies or survive brief battles. Some games depict pixelated characters using small swords or arrows to strike at enemies. Enemies typically get stunned or disappear in a flash, and obviously this description is kind of specifically tailored to the whole discussion of what rating the game should get. They want to, talk about exactly how violent it is, thus kind of justifying the E for everyone rating right there. So that's the game. We don't really know exactly what the game is going to look like. If it's going to be it's probably not going to be a direct recreation of the actual Nintendo World Championships. I've heard some people talking about how, since it references sword fighting, swords right there, does that mean they're going to introduce Zelda in there? Because the original Nintendo World Championships did not have Zelda in it. It was just 3 games. For all we know, it could have a whole bunch of them. And it is kind of funny because they had NES Remix. So it's kind of why didn't they just make an NES Remix for Switch? it is a little bit weird to bring back the Nintendo World Championships branding, I would say. Because that is, like I said, I went a long time without even knowing what that was, so I'm not really sure why. It's not something that comes up a lot. Maybe Nintendo is going to have another Nintendo World Championships, and this is how they want to kind of advertise it. But I don't know. I feel like NES Remix fits a lot better. I like that kind of branding more, but for whatever reason, they're bringing this back, apparently, according to this. Nintendo World Championships NES Edition. So there you go. That's a game. It's not a game that I would say I'm particularly interested in. I didn't get NES Remix. They had like a demo or something. I played it or was it free? I can't remember. I played it a bit. It's not really my cup of tea. NES games, I'm not like super into, and then especially just kind of like speed running them. Not my thing, but I'm sure a lot of people will be into something like this. There is absolutely no knowing when Nintendo will reveal this, and it's technically possible that they won't. It's not likely, but apparently at some point ESRB has revealed at least one game that then didn't release for whatever reason. Maybe it got canceled or something. I really don't know. I'm not super familiar with the whole history of ESRB leaks, unfortunately. But we can pretty safely assume that, yes, this is a thing that is going to be revealed, and probably decently soon. I mean, I don't know, like, if there's something that makes a game more or less likely to be accidentally revealed by the ESRB, but I would say that they're pretty lucky it was just this one, you know? Like, if they accidentally revealed, like, some really huge, surprising first-party game, that would have been a bigger problem, but I think this right here, yeah. Out of all the games it could have happened to, this one is probably the best. I mean, I can't imagine that Nintendo is happy one way or the other. It's not even like they can break ties with ESRB. They have to work with them, so it's not. It kind of doesn't matter what ESRB does. Nintendo, they can't just like, well, we're not gonna talk to you anymore. Like, no, they gotta keep doing it. It's just weird that it's still here. I don't get it. It's still up. Nobody has taken it down yet. And I have to imagine Nintendo, like, are they emailing them? Are they calling them, not returning the calls? Dude, you gotta take this stuff down right now, please. I don't know, by now it's too late, obviously. Right now, the guy who runs ESRB is floating in a pool somewhere, eating pigs in a blanket out of a bowl balanced on his chest, and the phone is in the house and it's blowing up. 36 messages from Doug Bowser. Dude, where are you? I called your mom, and she said that you do not work today, that you should be home. The phone is like vibrating slowly across the counter. I've messaged you on Facebook. I have messaged you on Xbox. It said you were on Fortnite an hour ago, and you should have seen my messages. Where are you? Anyway, okay, see you later.